Hola, hi. It's Monday and I successfully finished my 2 free online Zoom workshops I did on authentic visibility. It was very exciting for me because I haven't done that before on Zoom yet, and I'm sure there will be more to follow. So one of the things that came up yesterday and that we all have heard, especially when we are, creative entrepreneurs or artists, that idea and that sentence that we have to sell ourselves. And, I think words matter. And this one isn't doing anything good for me personally, to be honest. Because first of all, if you really think about it, nobody wants to sell themselves. Of course, I think especially for us creatives, it is so difficult because, selling somebody else's work and say, oh, look at this picture my friend has done, this is really gorgeous, do you want to have it, is so much easier than selling your own work. We all know that. And probably it's not just for creatives, it's probably for any service we are offering. But with that, for me, it's kind of like an old paradigm a little bit. Yes, that's kind of like what we grew up with. You have to sell yourself, and along with it comes a lot of manipulative mainstream marketing techniques that might lead even more to this idea, on the one hand, I want to put myself out there, at least it was like this for me, but not like that. And is there any alternative? I think, fortunately, in the recent years, there has been quite a few people that do things differently and give us an idea that it is possible. Like I really like Quiet Marketing, for example, by Danielle Gardner, or Ted Hargrave, Marketing for Hippies, or George Cow with his content creation and many other things. So yes, the good news is there are alternatives, but at the end of the day, that's what I believe is we do have to find our own way through this, because otherwise we might get hung up on someone else's system. But that's just me being a little bit of a rebel, I guess. I just see the danger, because we all have these narratives in our heads that kind of like, it's like a belief, you only will be successful if you sell yourself and become a charlatan like all the other people. Because what we see on the internet a lot, and probably not only the internet, are those people who are very, very good at having a message that's targeted at certain people and just appearing very confident, charismatic. They know exactly what to do, how to get the people they are talking to, and it's just about being successful. Often you don't even find any vita about them, it just says the secretuniverse.com, and they're telling you all these spiritual messages how you should be doing things. It doesn't mean that there isn't something valid and worthwhile in there, but if you are anything like me, you probably think, oh, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be just one more person out there who's telling people what to do, or one more person who's taking all the possibilities how just to get the work out there, no matter what it takes, and leaving our ethics and values behind. And I think when we have that, which is, I think, a good thing, yes, being critical and seeing that there are people out there who don't care so much about how they get things out there, and maybe about integrity. It's not on the top of their list. It's just about having as many followers as possible, as soon as possible, as quick as possible, and making as much money. And so I think there's the danger that we think it's either this or nothing. And if we don't want to do this here, we stay in the nothing and in the hiding. But I believe there is another way. It's just harder, slower, and you might need to, especially if you want to find a way that feels ultimately good to you, it might take more experimenting, it might take more, it might be slower to grow your audience, but at the end of the day, you will have an audience that actually really wants to hear from you. And so I do think it comes maybe back a little bit to the snail way I've been talking about before, that being persistent and putting things out there and seeing what comes back is the way to go. And I would replace that saying of having to sell yourself, because I don't find that motivating at all, is becoming visible to the right people. And those people, the right people, are the people who feel inspired by what you have to share. And so it's about a give and take, it's about an interaction, it's about a communication. And I think if we focus on that more, instead of selling ourselves, it will be easier to get our stuff out there. We can start with things that might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but still doable with small things. And I think it's the same thing going out there to a gallery where you want to have an exhibition, that at the end of the day you need to show up as yourself and you have to build a connection. And if that person doesn't like you or isn't nice to you, maybe it's not the right place for you. So it's important, if you can, to take the pressure off. And if the money pressure is there, maybe then the money needs in the beginning to come in from a different source. And so that when it comes to the things that are close to our heart, that we can take it slowly, step by step, and trust that it can and will be successful, and that we don't have to sacrifice our own values to do it. And why I personally am so motivated to inspire hiding artists and creative entrepreneurs, because I think we don't need more people who are shouting stuff out there and telling everyone what to do. We need more of those more introverted people and deep thinkers that share what they have to share, so that it gets a little bit more balanced. And I think there's space for that. So yes, become a little bit more visible in a way that feels good to you, and stop selling yourself. Yes. And enjoy the journey, I would say too. That's been me. This is Anja Kersten. I help hiding artists and creative entrepreneurs. Have a good Monday. Take good care. Bye-bye.